Good day, good day, good day. What's happening over there? Today we will be discussing what it means to be a human being. I mean, what it's like to be a unique individual. To just be yourself. This is not where I thought I was going to go with this. What the hell just happened? Okay, what it's like to be a unique individual. Well, for one thing, it's unattainable if you continue to allow yourself to submit to the constriction of your limiting belief system, which manifests itself in many different ways, such as people pleasing is one way that it manifests. Or, actually, that's one of the main ones, is people pleasing. When you feel like you can't be yourself, you're continuously catering to other people's perceptions of who you are, trying to maintain this false image of who you are in their minds so that they keep you around, because it's also linked to not feeling lovable, which is really the ultimate bottom level belief. That's like the very center, basically, that all of this other crap that we have to go through in order to learn and gain the wisdom necessary to actually sustain the new earth, to raise our children properly. Yeah, there's a proper way to raise children. I know that that's also a very, how would you say, there are people who would say, well, it's up to the parents to raise the kids however they want. But like with everything, there is a certain structure in which you can navigate a particular component or navigate a situation, scenario, field. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's obviously a right and a wrong way to raise kids. If you're abusing your kids, you're doing it the wrong way. But the thing is, and this does relate to the people pleasing and the limiting belief system, is some people don't know that they're abusing their children. Even people who love their kids so much and would do anything for them, if they themselves have not addressed the limiting belief system inside of them, like, for example, with my father, my mother, they were not people who explored themselves to find where it was that they maybe needed to improve. Like, I was never taught about money growing up. I was never taught about how to be a man and stand on my own. I was never really taught about responsibility. I was never really taught about, like, really what it meant to be a full functioning human being, to take on the world when you're older. So I had to learn a lot of this stuff on my own, and a lot of it I'm still learning. I'm still mastering money. But here's the thing, right? And so, because my parents didn't have the know-how to multiply their wealth, and they didn't focus any type of improving energies towards that area of life, well, when I was raised, I didn't learn how to manage money. I didn't learn how to budget. I didn't learn how to do taxes. I didn't learn how to mitigate taxes. I didn't learn how to build shell corporations. I didn't learn how to trade stocks. I didn't learn any of that kind of stuff. And if you're one of those people who would argue that that's necessary to teach your children, well, look at the world that they're living in. Do you want to set them up for monetary success? Do you want to give them the abilities to be able to go out into the world and create the lifestyle which is going to require a certain amount of money that they want to live? Like, our job as parents is to deliver our children the tools necessary for them to go and create the life that they want. And fuck off with the rest. But if you have these limiting beliefs around money, like, for example, there's this kid I know who wants to be a millionaire by the time he's 25. And so, we've been talking about the foundational elements of money. how many bank accounts you should have when you're first starting out. If you don't know, you know what, I'll do a quick breakdown too. You should have at least 5 bank accounts. I'm coming from Canada, so the bank account names might be a little bit different than wherever you are. But your regular checkings, that's for your monthly bills, you know, your groceries, your truck payments, your insurance, your gas, your whatever monthly payments that you have, your fixed payments, of course, and miscellaneous payments. And then you have yourself a high yield savings account, that's what it's called in Canada, where you can easily transfer from the savings account to the checkings account in case there's some kind of emergency. That's where your emergency fund goes, is into that savings account, the high yield savings account. And what you want to do with that account is you want to make sure your first goal is to hit $1,500 to $2,000. Just go for the higher one, $2,000, in case there's some kind of emergency that pops up. Maybe you get stuck on the side of the road and you don't have CAA. Now you need to call a tow truck. Maybe you're further out than you wish you would and you're paying for a $500 tow to get back. And maybe a tire blew on the way and now you got to spend another $400 on a tire, getting it balanced, getting it changed, unless you can do that stuff yourself and save a couple bucks. But still, you're gonna have to get a new tire, which is a few $100 depending on what kind of tires you got. And you know, there's a couple other things that might all happen at once, and it's best to just be prepared to have that emergency fund of $2,000 set aside. But what you want that emergency fund to turn into is, some people say 3 to 6 months worth of your total living expenses. I would say a minimum of 4 months, minimum, because I've had it happen to me where I had to move out of the house that I was living in with my family in under a week because shit got really hairy. Now that meant that I had to find a new job and we had to split between cities, and we, like, basically everything, it was crazy. You know what, and I'm going to make a video too, kind of talking about everything that we went through this past year, because I haven't even covered it yet. It's like I lost 2 jobs that had absolutely nothing to do with me. One didn't even tell me that we weren't going to be having work anymore, and another thing happened, some partnership got dissolved because the company's financer decided to try to manipulate and control everybody. It was pretty weird. Anyways, stuff happened, our finances depleted, and we weren't able to just go into a new place right away because we didn't have this fund set up, which, you know, now that I'm more aware and I need to take on the responsibility of taking care of my family as a man, this is something that you should have set up for yourself. And so this is what I've been telling the kid, is that you want to have that emergency fund built up to at least 4 months so that you can cover first and last month's rent, plus it's going to take you 2 weeks worth of working, and then depending on whether or not your job pays out the following week, most of the times it's 2 weeks apart, right? So you want to make sure that you have at least another month saved up to cover all of your expenses, including, and this is including rent, this is all of your living expenses, all of your fixed expenses, all of your miscellaneous expenses that you calculate inside of your budget, all of your rent, like everything, so that you can move into a new place with first and last month's rent. Then you have at least 2 more months covered in case maybe you don't find a job right away. It took me a couple of months to find a job after all this stuff happened to us. So then you're a lot safer going with 4 months, is what I'm saying. But 4 to 6 months is the goal. Not 3 to 6. I'd say 4 to 6 months is the goal, because I had it happen to me when I wasn't prepared, and 4 months would have been what I wanted. And then you've got yourself your RRSP, your retirement savings, your tax-free savings for bigger goals like a house or something like that, or whatever it is that you want to save for. And then maybe another high-yield savings account, which is set aside for a more personal goal of some sorts. That's where you put that kind of money. So those are like the 5 basic accounts that you want to have. But see, you got to have the foundations laid and the basic understanding of budgeting and how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out, and what is the profit margin, and what percentage of my profit margin can I feed into all of these accounts at once. Do I have debt that needs to be paid off first? And if you want to go in order of, and like this is what every financial advisor will basically tell you, is that build up your emergency fund first, just in case something does happen, while making the minimum payments you can on all of your different... Why did this turn into a money video? anyways, I hope this is helping you out. If it you know, I didn't expect this to go this way. So you build up your emergency fund while making the minimum payments on everything else. And then as soon as your emergency fund hits that $1,500 to $2,000, you want to aggressively approach the smallest amount of debt that you have first. While making the minimum payments on everything else, you put all of the extra money that you possibly can over to the smallest debt, and you continue to work your way towards the biggest one. And anyways, I was kind of talking to him about this, like if you want to become a millionaire by the time you're 25, you've got to at least be responsible and forethinking about the money that you've got right now. What are you doing with it right now? And what are you doing with yourself, more importantly, to build yourself into the version of you who is going to be able to be that millionaire by the time you're 25? And see, we've had great discussions about this, but he still, after a month of having talked about it multiple times, still hasn't made the accounts. And it takes 10 minutes to get all these accounts set up, if that. Even if you were to just do one high yield savings account, it's only going to take you maybe 3 minutes to do it. At least I'm with Scotiabank, and they're fast, man. I couldn't believe how fast it was when I had first set up my high yield savings account. It's just online, simple, done, game over. I'm winning. But anyways, this is the point that I was trying to get to, is there's a belief that continues to pop up, setting off the subconscious security system to say that if we take this next step, we're actually going to be living outside of our comfort zone by now we're going to be moving over into the version of us who is becoming a millionaire. But with the limiting beliefs that we have, your body's going to shut you down. Maybe you'll procrastinate it. Maybe you'll get to the very last button, like he literally told me he was about to make it, and then he just quit. Self-sabotage. It's not because you hate yourself. Ultimately, we all love ourselves, even when we don't think that we do. If you are still alive, you love yourself to some degree, and that love, that small flame, can be fanned into something so fantastic. It's just waiting right there for you to be able to acknowledge the fact that you are in control of your reality, that you are in control of your life, and that you are the one who has to make the choices to show yourself that you love yourself enough to do the yoga, to do the breath work, to do the meditation, to do the subconscious reprogramming, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, no matter what you feel inside. And you create that emotion when you're looking at yourself to the best of your ability, that you love yourself and that you give yourself a break. So when we don't have the teaching passed down to us, basically what we do, and this is what karma really is, it's the belief system that has been passed down to you. And you now have to become aware of these habits that you have, which are limiting the possibility of who you can be, of the experience that you can have. And as you begin to examine these things, like that kid who's running into this problem of, I cannot seem to click the damn button. Well, what has to happen there is now he's got to go inside of himself. He's got to go into the theta brainwave state. And if you want to do this, I have a meditation posted on this channel, because I'm one of those people who doesn't just try to guide you into my coaching program or into the Om Circle that I run. It's a meditation community we do 3 times every Wednesday, 3 times a month every Wednesday, 6:45 p.m. EST to about 8:15 p.m. EST. I'm giving you the stuff. I'm giving you the knowledge, I'm giving you the information, I'm giving you the wisdom, and I'm giving you the ability to go and heal yourself. I don't like those, I don't like that kind of, I'll tell you everything you need to know, but you gotta come and purchase my book if you want the rest of the information. Fuck those people. No offense to them, but I just disagree with that completely, that's just ridiculous. You're basically leading the horse to the water, the horse is wanting to drink, and then you're just stopping them from drinking. You're holding their mouth, and as much as they try to get into the water, you're just telling them no. It's ridiculous. The meditation is on my page if you want to go and check it out and then follow these instructions. So you go into the theta brainwave state, and then you begin to ask yourself the questions. You do the digging. What is stopping me from pushing this button? What is stopping me from moving forward? And just continue to dig, continue to go until you feel, and you will feel it. When you are in search of that root cause and you have a true desire to discover it, when you do discover it, you will know. And then from there, you basically make a command to creation. And I'll include it in the description because the one that I do has been customized to be more potent. So, by the way, I'm a theta healing practitioner, an advanced theta healing practitioner that's on his way to becoming an instructor. And this is what I do. I reprogram people's minds and their bodies to allow them to exist in the greatest possible existence that they possibly can, because my overall mission, the purpose that I'm alive to fulfill, is to create a new model version of society that other people can look from the outside into and say, holy shit, we should be doing stuff like that instead. Why are we living like this in the cities, being polluted by everything without the greenery and with all of these toxic chemicals that were existing? Like, it's just crazy what's going on in the cities right now, so detached from actual reality. But anyways, that's why I'm here. And the only way that we can do that is if, as the individuals, because our collective is obviously made up of us individuals, right? Is we all need to come to that place. Or, there's only a certain amount of us necessary before it's just like 100 monkey theory gets everybody else. But we got to come to that place within ourselves of absolute love, of understanding, of knowing that you have the power inside of you and that nobody can take that away from you. And so it's fine to go out and say to a random person on the street that you have a gift. You have something the world needs, and it will be true every time, because all of us have that. All of us are unique. All of us have a unique passion. Even if we all like to draw, nobody in the world draws the same way. You sit 500 people in a room to paint that bowl of fruit, no matter how no matter how similar the paintings may look, those brush strokes are different. Obviously, because the weight of one person's brush stroke could never be the same as another's. The spread could never be the same as another's. No matter how much you try to copy somebody, you can never be them. That art will always be unique to you no matter what. And it's a beautiful thing. So when it comes to realizing your unique capabilities, you've got to go in and explore. Ooh, I got 2 minutes. You've got to go in and explore what makes you tick. Where are your limitations? Where's the glass to the fishbowl, so to speak? Begin to liberate yourself from these things, because when you do that, now you'll look to your children and you won't be passing down those limiting beliefs to them. You will be showing them a different way, a way of possibility, a way of raising them to learn how to manage their money so that they're not scrambling to figure it out later on in their life and suffering unnecessarily because they didn't have the basics taught to them when they were younger. Man, I just drove through this shit. The roads are pretty clear here. I don't know how they spun off. Bad tires. They look okay. Where was I? I got a minute left. So, what a weird video. I did not expect to drop some information about money and managing your money. Maybe I should do one about budgeting too. Help you maximize your budget. I mean, there's a few apps and stuff you can search up and get help with it now. Whoa. Okay. Anyways, only got about 10 seconds left here because my storage is full. So, I hope you gained something from this video. I love you so much. Thanks for existing. Have a great day.